So a lot of people are starting to get on board, and I'm happy that I'm a part of it as well. And to be a part of the winning team and a future with a team that has such a bright future is just incredible. PSG brand has always been a brand that's been known across America, but it's become more and more visible over the last few years.
Kevin Durant just made a move that left fans and analysts stunned. It's not a trade, it's not retirement, it's bigger, and it has the power to change professional basketball on a global scale. Durant has officially become a minority owner of Paris Saint-Germain, one of the most powerful soccer clubs in the world, and that's just the start. On June 20th, 2025, Durant signed a strategic partnership deal with Qatar Sports Investments, the majority owner of PSG. Through this agreement, Durant, via his media and investment company Boardroom, acquired a direct minority stake in the club. The announcement wasn't just a financial transaction. PSG made it clear Durant isn't just an investor, he's a strategic partner. Durant himself called it an honor, saying, "This club has big plans ahead, and I can't wait to be a part of the next phase of growth. It's more than just buying in, he's stepping into a global role with one of the biggest brands in sports." Paris isn't just another dot on Durant's international map. He has a connection to the city, notably from his historic run in the 2024 Olympics, where he became the first player in history to win 4 Olympic gold medals. Paris also represents the intersection of global sports power and cultural influence. 2 lanes Durant has been aggressively expanding into. Paris Saint-Germain just won the 2025 UEFA Champions League, increasing its global prestige. That makes Durant's timing even more strategic. This is not a struggling brand looking for a savior. It's a juggernaut bringing in an NBA legend to help fuel its next era of dominance. This isn't just about soccer. As part of the agreement, Durant will consult on PSG's multi-sport strategy. That includes potential plans in basketball, a revelation that instantly raised eyebrows. PSG is exploring entry into professional basketball, and Durant is expected to help guide that move. This comes at a time when the NBA and FIBA are discussing the launch of a new European basketball league. Sources have reported that Paris is one of the top target markets. With Durant now directly tied to PSG and consulting on their expansion, the puzzle pieces are aligning in a way that few expected. The implications for the NBA are massive. For years, Commissioner Adam Silver has floated the idea of a European expansion, but Durant's move gives it real traction. His involvement doesn't just bring legitimacy, it brings marketing, firepower, and strategic alignment with a club that already knows how to operate globally. Joe Vardon of the New York Times wrote, "Imagine the NBA launching its new European competition with Durant as the face of it. Don't rule it out." This isn't baseless speculation. Durant is now in the room where those conversations are happening, and his influence could be what finally pushes the NBA's European vision into reality. The response was immediate and divided. NBA fans were shocked. Many never expected Durant to become this deeply involved in European sports, especially while still playing. Soccer fans were curious, some skeptical about an NBA player's role, others excited by the crossover potential. PSG fans, however, largely welcomed the move. The idea of their club branching into basketball with help from a global icon like Durant has energized a fan base already riding high off Champions League success. This is more than a crossover. It's a convergence. Durant's stake in PSG adds to a rapidly expanding business portfolio. His company, Boardroom Sports Holdings, will now partner with QSY on commercial projects, investment strategies, and content production. He joins a select group of U.S. athletes who have invested in European sports teams. LeBron James with Liverpool, Tom Brady with Birmingham City, and Russell Westbrook with Leeds United. What sets Durant apart is his timing and depth of involvement. This isn't a passive investment. PSG stated that Durant will work with them on a variety of ambitious projects, including a possible basketball division. It's clear he's not just along for the ride. He's in the driver's seat for a portion of this global journey. Durant's involvement with PSG arrives at a critical moment. FIBA is currently frustrated with the EuroLeague for releasing a new calendar that conflicts with FIBA's qualifying windows for the 2027 World Cup in Qatar. The tension is escalating, and the current structure of European basketball is in flux. Durant, backed by PSG and QSI's massive financial power, could help launch an entirely new basketball division, one that bypasses the current power structures and aligns with NBA interests. That's a nightmare scenario for traditional European basketball institutions. With NBA and FIBA support, a PSG-led franchise and a new league could instantly reshape the landscape. All signs point to this being more than just an ownership headline. It's a signal that global basketball is on the brink of something massive. PSG, already a global sports brand, is aligning with Durant to expand its footprint beyond soccer. Meanwhile, the NBA is looking for strategic partners in Europe. FIBA wants reform, and Kevin Durant just positioned himself in the center of it all. He's no longer just a player or even a businessman. He's a global sports architect. From Paris to Phoenix, the game is changing. Durant's new chapter could be the start of a new era in how basketball operates on the international stage. If PSG does move forward with a basketball division, Durant's experience and influence will be critical. With QSI's financial muscle and PSG's branding power, they could attract elite talent, establish a franchise in Paris, and immediately compete at the highest level. Durant's role wouldn't just be advisory. He could serve as the bridge between American basketball systems and the emerging European market. This project also gives PSG an advantage in negotiations with the NBA and FIBA, positioning the club as a serious player in the basketball space before a single game is played. The framework Durant helps design could serve as a model for how major soccer clubs expand into multi-sport empires. It's not theoretical anymore. It's real, and it's already unfolding. Kevin Durant didn't just buy into a soccer club. He stepped into a role that could redefine how global sports leagues operate. He's now a minority owner of PSG, a consultant on their multi-sport expansion, and potentially a key figure in the NBA's European ambitions. Fans hoped this day wouldn't come, not because they doubted Durant's vision, but because they feared the shift it signals. Durant has always moved differently, but this is seismic. It's global, and it's only just beginning. What do you think about Durant's bold new chapter with PSG? Could this be the start of basketball's next global revolution? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like if you're ready for this new era. And don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates on Durant, the NBA, and the future of global sports.
I think I have to be as smart as I want to be. I have to understand the risks, ask the right questions. But I'm a competitor. I want to play. I'm gonna do everything in my power to play, and that's just what it is. But I mean, I think the answer to that is depending on who you ask.
The Indiana Pacers locker room fell dead silent after Game 5, but it wasn't the usual post-loss quiet. This was different. Players whispered anxiously as they watched their franchise cornerstone, Tyrese Haliburton, limp toward the training room with what would later be confirmed as a strained right calf. What happened next would shock the entire basketball world and reveal just how much this young superstar means to Indiana's championship dreams. With the Pacers' backs against the wall, facing elimination in Game 6 of the NBA Finals against Oklahoma City Thunder, Haliburton did something that left everyone speechless. Despite barely being able to walk, despite medical staff advising rest, despite every logical reason to sit out, Tyrese Haliburton broke his silence and made a declaration that sent shockwaves through the basketball community. Let's rewind to Monday night's Game 5 disaster. Haliburton left the game late in the first quarter, his right calf visibly bothering him. The training staff wrapped his lower leg, and for a moment, it looked like Indiana's season might be over right there. Coach Rick Carlisle even considered holding him out for the second half, a decision that could have saved Haliburton's health but potentially cost the Pacers their championship dreams. But here's where it gets incredible. Haliburton vetoed those plans. He demanded to return to the court, playing 17 minutes in the second half while clearly compromised. The result? He couldn't make a single field goal in 34 minutes, the first time in his career he'd played that long without scoring. Yet he still led the team in rebounds and assists after halftime, proving that even a hobbled Haliburton was better than most players at full strength. The medical reports painted a grim picture. Sources revealed to ESPN's Shams Charania that this wasn't just a minor tweak. This was a legitimate calf strain that had been building throughout the series. The same area that had bothered him since Game 2 was now screaming for rest. But Tyrese Haliburton had other plans. When reporters gathered around Haliburton after that crushing Game 5 loss, expecting to hear about rest and recovery, he delivered words that nobody saw coming. "I mean, it's the NBA Finals. It's the finals, man," he said, his voice carrying a determination that cut through the disappointment. "I've worked my whole life to be here, and I want to be out there to compete." But then came the statement that truly shocked everyone. "If I can walk, then I want to play." Those 7 words encapsulated everything about Haliburton's character and sent a clear message to his teammates, the coaching staff, and the entire basketball world. This wasn't just about one game. This was about a franchise player refusing to let his team's championship dreams die on his watch. Head coach Rick Carlisle found himself in an unprecedented situation. His star player was basically telling him, "I'm playing whether you like it or not," while medical staff were recommending caution. In a radio interview with 107.5 The Fan, Carlisle revealed the internal struggle. "We have to prepare for 2 scenarios, one where he plays and one where he does not." The coach admitted that Haliburton would be a game-time decision, likely listed as questionable on the injury report. But those close to the situation knew the truth. Barring a complete inability to move, Haliburton was going to find a way onto that court for Game 6. Carlisle's backup plan involved promoting TJ McConnell to a starting role, a move that made sense given McConnell's brilliant playoff performance. But even the coach seemed to understand that no substitution could truly replace what Haliburton brings to this team. What Haliburton revealed about his preparation for Game 6 was equally shocking. Massage, needles, hyperbaric, H-waves, everything you can do to get as comfortable as you can, he explained. This wasn't just a player getting some ice and hoping for the best. This was a full-scale medical intervention designed to get every possible minute out of a compromised superstar. The round-the-clock treatment regimen showed just how seriously both Haliburton and the organization were taking this moment. Hyperbaric chambers, acupuncture, electrical stimulation, no stone was being left unturned in the quest to get their leader ready for the biggest game in franchise history. Haliburton's declaration had immediate ripple effects throughout the organization. The merchandise sales for both the Pacers and the WNBA's Indiana Fever, boosted by Caitlin Clark's phenomenal rookie season, had already reached historic levels. As one executive noted, "It's impossible to prepare for something like this. We've been getting 1,000 orders per night online." The parallel success of Clark and Haliburton had created an unprecedented surge in Indiana basketball fever. Both players were carrying their respective franchises on their backs, and both were dealing with the pressure of an entire state's championship hopes. This is where Haliburton's story becomes truly remarkable. Earlier in the season, he had made another declaration that caught everyone's attention. "We're in this together." Those words weren't just team-building rhetoric. They were a promise to a fan base that had waited decades for a championship. Indiana hasn't won an NBA title, and the Pacers have come heartbreakingly close multiple times. Haliburton understands that he's not just playing for statistics or personal accolades. He's playing for every fan who has waited their entire life to see Indiana basketball reach the mountaintop. What makes Haliburton's silence-breaking moment so shocking isn't just the injury or the stakes. It's the maturity and leadership he's showing at just 25 years old. This is a player who could easily take the safe route, protect his body, and live to fight another day. Instead, he's choosing to risk everything for one shot at history. The medical staff can wrap his calf, coaches can draw up contingency plans, and teammates can prepare to step up. But at the end of the day, Tyrese Haliburton has made his choice clear. He's not just the Pacers' best player, he's their heart and soul, and he's determined to give everything he has for Indiana's championship dreams. As Game 6 approaches, one thing is certain. Win or lose, Tyrese Haliburton has already cemented his legacy as a player who refused to back down when it mattered most. His shocking declaration has set the stage for what could be the most memorable game in Pacers history. If you're following this incredible finals run, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this story is far from over, and you won't want to miss what happens next in Indiana's quest for glory.
is the health of Tyrese Halliburton. With just under 7 minutes left in the first quarter of last night's game, as you can see here, he appeared to tweak the right leg injury that's been bothering him since Game 2. Now,
Tyrese Halliburton has just suffered a downfall that defies belief, and what's been exposed has left NBA observers across the country absolutely stunned. The Indiana Pacers star stands as one of the most dynamic playmakers in professional basketball, making his recent injury catastrophe particularly devastating to witness. The revelation involves not only his catastrophic calf strain during the NBA Finals, but also the complete destruction of his championship hopes, prompting the entire basketball community to finally acknowledge this systematic failure after witnessing one of the most crushing injury setbacks in Finals history. The context begins during Game 5 of the NBA Finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder, where Halliburton was expected to lead the Pacers' championship pursuit at Paycom Center in Oklahoma City. The All-Star guard recently faced the reality of suffering a right calf strain without contact and announced his intention to undergo an MRI to determine injury severity despite his team's desperate championship situation. This inflammatory injury escalated consequences, particularly when Halliburton appeared to get hurt while driving to the basket in the first quarter and briefly exited to the locker room before returning with visible discomfort. The NBA world has been following Halliburton's playoff brilliance for an extended period, recognizing what his leadership represents for the Pacers' unprecedented finals appearance. Halliburton has been key to the Pacers' unlikely deep playoff run, including multiple last-second shots throughout the postseason and the game winner in Game 1 of the finals, raising fundamental questions about championship destiny. Who exactly overcomes devastating injuries during the sport's biggest stage? The organization wants to ensure fans understand that even all-star caliber players face physical limitations through deliberate medical evaluation and strategic decision-making. The injury situation provides crucial context because Halliburton's calf strain cannot be viewed as simple minor setback or manageable discomfort. Halliburton serves as the heartbeat of Indiana's championship quest, implementing elite playmaking ability alongside clutch performance delivery that transforms role players into championship contributors. The guard designed his approach, encompassing 9.1 assists per game during the playoffs, 46.3% field goal shooting, and multiple game-winning performances that established him as the franchise's most important player during their historic postseason run. But wait, there is more. ESPN's Shams Charania recently revealed the medical assessment timeline in a particularly significant report that exposed the severity of Halliburton's condition. Indiana Pacers point guard Tyrese Halliburton is believed to have suffered a right calf strain and will undergo an MRI to discover the severity. This comprehensive medical evaluation will determine both his immediate availability and long-term championship prospects. This systematic injury assessment exposes the Pacers' desperate situation, acknowledge their star players' physical limitations, evaluate medical options through advanced imaging, and maintain championship pursuit despite devastating setback, ultimately allowing Indiana to determine whether their finals hopes remain viable or face inevitable elimination. The performance decline during Game 5 demonstrates the devastating impact of Halliburton's injury on both individual statistics and team success. Despite logging 34 minutes, Halliburton struggled mightily, going 0 for 6 from the field and finishing with 4 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists, representing his most underwhelming performance of the 2024-25 postseason. The Thunder defeated the Pacers 120-109 to take a 3-2 series lead, moving within one win of an NBA championship. The visible injury management throughout Game 5 reveals the extent of Halliburton's physical compromise. He returned to the bench in the second quarter with his calf wrapped, but eventually removed the wrap and played through the discomfort, demonstrating both his competitive determination and the injury's persistent impact on his mobility and effectiveness. The statistical context emphasizes how dramatically the injury affected Halliburton's typically elite performance. Through 21 playoff games, Halliburton averaged 17.9 points, 9.1 assists, 5.8 rebounds, and 1.3 steals, while shooting 46.3% from the field and 32.4% from three. His finals averages of 15.0 points, 6.2 rebounds, 7.2 assists per game, with 45.3% field goal shooting represents solid production until the Game 5 collapse. The championship timeline creates maximum pressure for Halliburton's recovery and return. Indiana now faces elimination and must win Games 6 and 7 to claim the title, with Game 6 tipping off Thursday in Indianapolis.